Let's be real. Episode 205. How's everybody doing?
We're good. We're good. Remix version of Three the Harder Way we got today.
Hey, yeah, regardless, we LeBron can say whatever, but us three are here for the bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
I thought you was gonna call us old. I thought that's what she was about to
Oh
do.
no. We can, man.
But man, as always, y'all know y'all can follow us on Twitter and all social media platforms, LBR_media. Subscribe, hit the notification button on YouTube. It's now Let's Be Real Media. I changed the official Let's Be Real Media on YouTube and Let's Be Real Sports on all the audio platforms, Spotify, Google, Stitcher, Apple, you name it. Of course, you always know me. I am P Shark. I'm here with Skylar and Took. Trevor and Sheedy are out for the day, but like I said, remixing Three Hardaway podcast with Took, Sheedy, and Savage. So,
Hey,
without further ado, let's get the video. Let's be real. All right. So we are live on my Twitter today as well as the WYDA_P Shark. So anybody tuning in from Twitter and YouTube live streaming right now, what it do? And first topic. Jalen Hurts signed this contract extension. I forgot to put the numbers in front of me, but I know it's like I think it was 255 mil total and guaranteed 179 mil guaranteed. And if I am wrong, someone correct me, but I think I am at least in the ballpark if I ain't completely right on it.
I think it's about right.
So really just thoughts, what y'all thoughts about Jalen Hurts and that biggest team. I think it's the biggest contract in NFL history. Total contract, of course. Deshaun Watson got the highest guarantee because he got the fully guaranteed 235, 36 mil. But highest contract in NFL history. So what y'all thinking about Jalen Hurts and that new contract he just signed?
Happy for him, honestly. So if you think about his story, coming out of college, whether that was, the days he had at Alabama, the days he had at Oklahoma, and then even, what the process looked like in order for him to be the QB1 for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm yelling. I'm honestly just really happy for him. You see somebody that's worked as hard as he does, somebody that's that's been a really good person, not only on the field but off the field as well too. His leadership, I think, also is something that can't be ignored in this particular situation. So I'm happy to see that he got the contract that he got. I think it's also a pretty good contract for the team itself too. It seems team friendly. It doesn't seem as if it's going to cap them out or, in terms of being able to sign additional players, be able to re-sign some people or still go out and, make some type of free agency moves, which is what Philly's kind of known for. So I think for both parties, whether that's Jalen Hurts or the Philadelphia Eagles, they both won.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Skylar. And even next year, I think the Eagles are able to still add more because Jalen Hurts' contract starts the year after next. He actually be earning like close around $5 million, give or take, next year. So you can still add on to that Super Bowl core that you were trying to, focus on. But for Jalen Hurts, black QB to come and get the bag. No kind of negative publicity, just straight football. Especially after coming in after college and seeing him go through his thing with Alabama, and then going to Oklahoma and becoming, that guy. And then, even Savage 4 or 5 years ago ended up saying, hey, Jalen Hurts gonna be a superstar. Jalen Hurts gonna be a superstar. Whether he truly believed in that or not is here to tell. But 4 years later, and he's the highest paid player ever in the NFL. So kudos for Savage to call it off, and kudos for the Eagles for not putting him into a Lamar Jackson situation where you have this MVP quarterback who's trying to get paid what he's worth, and you not giving it to him. So shout out to the Eagles for going, hey, we made it to the Super Bowl. We got our quarterback for the next 10 years. Let's go ahead and make him happy. Let's go ahead and make his bank account happy. And boom, here we are now. So salute to Jalen Hurts and salute to the Eagles.
Yep, definitely. And before I get to my points, man, shout out to my guy Mike Patton, who just tuned in to the AFC South. Check out his show. He was one of my guys last week. I went to the Black Sports Business Symposium in Atlanta. him, we formed a little crew, me, him, Danny Thompson, Megan Hall, Justin Payton, and Chris Powell from the Couch Coach Live, our little crew, man. Definitely a fun experience with them in Atlanta. Definitely have to do it again. Definitely have to get y'all guys and other people that we got. Ryan just tuned in. What to do, my guy? Hey, definitely get y'all to the Black Sports Symposium next year. But my thoughts on Jalen Hurts. I'm like Skylar said, what you said too. Proud of him. Happy for him. They're definitely well deserved. Glad the Eagles built a system around him, because when Savage did initially make that claim of him being a superstar, yeah, we laughed and joked around. I said he was barely a starter and everything, but I really did believe he was a starting quarterback in the NFL. Now, I don't know if I necessarily believe he'll become a superstar, but I did believe he was a starter. But I didn't know the Eagles were going to truly build around him. And I'm glad that they kind of followed the Ravens, kind of followed the model. They did build an offense around Lamar Jackson, and that's what the Eagles were going to have to do, and they started doing it. Now, they did do a little better than the Ravens, because the Ravens never got Lamar Jackson a wide receiver. The Eagles did get Jalen Hurts a wide receiver at the expense of my favorite team, but they did go out and do some things that I really didn't truly expect them to do to really give them the path to success. Then I think, like Mike said, like it doesn't get to his salary, doesn't get in double digits. His actual base salary, I think next year, even like the next couple of years,
like, okay.
Yeah, it's like $6 million this year, like 13 next year, 18 a year after that. Like it doesn't affect their salary cap this much. So they found a way to structure their contract to get them. Yeah, Ryan said definitely gotta go next year. Definitely get you Black Sports Business Symposium next year. But yeah, they really structured it really well. I think Savage tweeted it. I found the tweet in a second, but they structured it so well. So everything the Eagles are doing, and it's so funny hearing Savage complain about the Eagles a couple years ago, and like I think he wanted Howard Roseman fired. Now they want Howard Roseman to be there for good.
Right, and no, I was just about to say that, like, you look, you gotta give Howard Roseman like his flowers for like how he built this team on out. Like again, they had the Super Bowl, they had the team that went to the Super Bowl, several years ago, and then they didn't do so well, a couple years after that. But to kind of think about like how short that window was from, when they were in the Super Bowl to then they're back now, just this past year. And Howard Roseman, you kind of got to give him his credit for, how well he built the team surrounding Jalen Hurts. Having a really good offensive line and defensive line to be able to kind of protect him on both sides of the ball. Like, to your point, Sharky, he was kind of fire Howard Roseman, but in this sense here, you got to be like, I'll shake my hand to you because you did well there. So,
and Took, you say you got the contract details. Yep. So next year he'll get, like Mike said, $6.15 million. Shout out to Nashville. 2024 he'll get 13 and a half. 2025 he'll get 21.7. And 2026, he'll get pretty much 32 mil. So that's definitely team friendly.
Great structure. And it's crazy, I guess, because I forgot how NFL works with it, where they give you the money up front, the bonus up front or something to help the cap space, because he's still getting 179 mil guaranteed. And for them to be able to structure it that way was awesome. That means they still can build a team around them and still continue to have success, continue to pay. They might could now pay a Devontae Smith along with AJ Brown's contract now. So it's things like that they gave themselves the wiggle room to do. So yeah, shout out to the Eagles. Shout out to Jalen Hurts' agent, of course, man. Agent Nicole Lynn, Black women empowered as an agent, signed the contract, getting the deal done for him. And I think he self has sustained success with the Eagles going forward. Yep, right. Just put a shout his agent. Yep, just here it. Mike put when they start getting to the end, he's going to get restructuring or extension. Yep. As always, Nicole in for the win. Yep. Definitely. So next up, of course, NFL draft is upon us next week. Guess we got the number one pick. The Carolina Panthers. Took's favorite team.
I sure a different hat.
Let's get number one pick predictions, because a lot of stuff has happened over the week. A lot of smoke screen happens every year. But, of course, over the last week or so, Bryce Young canceled all his visits to every team, which hinted at him potentially going number one. But I want us to predict who y'all think is going number one to the Carolina Panthers.
I think for me, a strong prediction would be because I've seen a couple reports, and my thing is, like, if I see a couple 9 times out of 10, it's true. A couple reports saying that the Panthers don't want the conventional, we're going to wait till the day of draft pick, to say who we want as a number one. Like, we want to go ahead and have jerseys made. We want to go ahead and, get the support out of, everybody that, the Carolina Panthers staff and some of the players could have followed. they all following Bryce Young. So call it a smoke screen if you want. You know, they had the report of CJ Stroud getting 18% on the IQ test of quarterbacks, whatever. And you know, Bryce Young had the best one ever. I think it's pretty solid that we're gonna end up going with Bryce Young. I think so. Of course, I wanted the Will Anderson. Of course, day one I wanted CJ Stroud just because of the body of work. But for somebody that don't know too much about football, and to see somebody get 18% on anything, I'm like, damn, I hope he's not an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, he made some good plays. He was a definite elite quarterback. But if this 18% compared to Kyler Murray's not Kyler Murray, Bryce Young's 92%, 93, whatever he got, like if those was gonna keep the number one pick, us happy having the number one pick, then let's go for it. You know what I'm saying? And last thing is like Scott Fittey, he knows how to win with Russell Wilson. And I think the same thing is starting to come again with the Carolina Panthers because we got a lot of cornerbacks. You know, we're trying to bring back what they did with Richard Sherman and all those guys. It's kind of the same thing going on for the Carolina Panthers, only this time we know for sure the quarterback that we're going to go after. We know for sure how to progress, you know, Bryce Young. And people say he's small, like myself, he's small, but the NFL getting soft as hell anyway. So does it really matter that he's 5'9", not even 200 pounds iffy? So, like I said, a magnificent talent. Bryce Young is pretty much going to be the number one pick for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, and I hope you go their route as well too. I think, you know, to your point, there's a lot of smoke screen that's being put out there. I think there's a legitimate argument in terms of who should go one, whether that's Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. But I just think that like what Bryce Young did last year at Alabama and him not having as much talent as I think his freshman year, or if he didn't have as much talent as Tua when he was there, to me spoke volumes. Just in terms of he doesn't, he had a season where he didn't have the best talent, he didn't have much of an offensive line, but he still was able to perform at the level that he did. For me, I think that was just enough for me. My only knock against CJ Stroud was I really like CJ Stroud, and maybe this was a thing at Ohio State. But CJ Stroud didn't really just prove anything to me, or he didn't have those big game moments until the college football playoff. And so that's my only knock against him is how often can he do that? We know he can, because again, now granted, he tore up, Georgia, which is a NFL defense. So again, you got to give him credit for that and not taking credit away from him. My only concern is I just didn't see it at the level as consistent as I did Bryce Young. But I think if nothing else, the Carolina Panthers are in a good position. So I think you can't really go wrong with either one.
And to back off your point, Skyler, about CJ Stroud, he kind of reminds me, and we consider, what's my guy name from the Chargers? I forget, Justin Herbert. He kind of reminds me of him because Justin Herbert in college, same thing. Didn't really have no big games.
Herbert head.
We was always head, right? And I don't think he didn't get to the college football playoff, but at least CJ Stroud did get to the college football playoff and had the big game against Georgia. They finally was like, okay, there you go. But I can see that very well being the same case with him in the NFL, because Justin Herbert so far in the NFL, it's been great, but still had like those big, huge game moments, right? That just like, hey, he's definitely up there with the Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen and them. He's still like right a tier below them, and he's still young in his career. So same thing, CJ Stroud, but that's still a solid quarterback. To your point, like that's our quarterback. That's a quarterback you can still take it up one. Because I would love to have Justin Herbert on my team right now. So
me too,
right? But like I told you before, I've been a huge Bryce Young fan. Like I said, we SEC heads. I'm a Tennessee fan. I faced him as Tennessee. I faced Alabama last year. He came off a whatever injury he had, shoulder, whatever type of injury he had. I mean, he was questionable to play any game against Tennessee, and came and proceeded to light us up. And literally probably only lost the game. Yeah, Scott to come back in. Literally only lost the game because he had a player on the last possession when they missed their field goal. One of his players dropped the wide. They were wide open. And dude dropped the pass, I think, on third down. And just remember that, like, after that, they missed the field goal and Tennessee came back and won. Like, Bryce Young did everything he could to win the game and willed this thing to victory pretty much. And like, it wasn't because of him. And I just seen him. He know how to. He's a playmaker, right? And I understand like him being small, only the scary part of him. He didn't really get hurt a lot at Alabama. He got a little knick-knack injuries that you would get, but I could see being afraid because of his stature and stuff in the NFL. But he a playmaker. And I've been saying, hey, Bryce Young number one. When y'all got the number one pick, I was like, Bryce Young is the one I would take. But CJ Stroud ain't that bad of a choice. But I do believe everything that's been signaling Bryce Young number one, he would be the number one pick in the draft. Y'all, I think you would be very satisfied with him. So, yep, y'all be really good with that.
Let's get the 9 jerseys ready.
And it gets the comments. Mike Patton said he called him Rev. I figured when he said Rev, I was like, he got to be talking about Bryce Young because it's either Stroud or Bryce Young. He said he reminds him of the quarterback original. Remember the Titans? Yep. So I can see that. Said he gonna be preaching sermons on Sunday on the field. Amen.
Amen. Amen. As long as they come with W's. Amen. In Jesus' name.
First thing, they knock CJ Stroud for not running that much. Go figure. Yep, they do. They sure do. Then if you ran too much, they would have knocked him for not passing. Yep. The irony. He said Bryce got the clutch in. You can coach too. Yep.
All right, see, I like that, man. Y'all giving me confidence. Y'all giving me confidence.
Bryce Young, the guy. I think Bryce Young is the one because y'all trade DJ Moore, so I don't know how y'all weapons are right now. Bryce Young is the type that can make something of anybody on the field. CJ Stroud, I've seen him with weapons only, so I have to maybe he may need some weapons, but I think Bryce Young come in right now and just will get y'all the division for real off the top.
Let's get it.
Next up, keep it in NFL draft. So all our favorite teams, Skyler is a Steelers fan, Tuke Panthers fan, me is a Titans fan. Our NFL draft wish list. What you want your teams to do in the draft? I know the Titans got the 11 pick. The Steelers got 19, 20-ish, 18, somewhere in that area.
I think we're 17, I think.
17. Yeah, in that area. And the Panthers, of course, got number one. So, of course, and the entirety of the draft, we got plug holes. Our teams need a plug and everything. So, what are some wish lists what is something when the draft ends that you'd be like, your team has done that you say you'd be satisfied with?
3 areas of importance for I think the Steelers should be definitely with that 17 pick, either going offensive tackle or going cornerback. Those are 2 positions that the cornerback position has given the Steelers problems for years. I don't remember the last time we've had like a true number 1 corner. Going back to the Ike Taylor days, how about that one? So, and even then, Ike Taylor wanted to shut down corner. He had a good front 7. So I definitely think you got to think about cornerback. They did sign Pat Pete in the offseason, but Pat Pete is not a long-term answer for you. And right now, I think you're very inexperienced in that in the area. So you got to think about cornerback for sure. I mentioned offensive tackle. Dan Moore is not it. He is not a starting tackle, at least right now in the NFL. So whether that's Paris Johnson, I think the Darnell Wright from Tennessee, I think is projected. I think that's his name, or is projected to kind of go within that area as well too. So tackle and cornerback are definitely at least the top 2 that you have to address within those first 2 rounds. Steelers have 17. I think they have 32 as well, which is like another first round pick. So from that standpoint, I'm happy. And then the third position, which I think not many people talk about, but it's one of those like it's been an issue for me. Sorry, Miss Eva. Is defensive tackle. We have not been able to stop the run in the past 4 years. And so you got to be able to find somebody like that. Casey Hayward, he's definitely getting up there in age, and so you got to find somebody to essentially replace him when that time comes. So offensive tackle, cornerback, and defensive tackle are 3 of the top positions. I'm hoping the Steelers address very soon.
I think for me as a Panthers fan, for one, the thing I wish the most is for people to stop comparing Anthony Richardson to Cam Newton because it's damn right disrespectful. Like, if you listen to this podcast, just because he's big and black, don't mean he's Cam Newton. Like, can we please stop? Just because he went to Florida, does not mean he's Cam Newton.
And was in the SEC.
Like, come on, man. Just
and played at Florida.
Come on,
and
man. And can run. Like, come on, man. The guy's barely passed 300, 400 yards in his career. That's for one. For 2, he's a big project. As for Cam Newton, he came into the NFL as a winner. You know what I'm saying? People can't say he can't throw. He can't throw. But in the first game, came and threw for 400 yards. I mean, my God, like, can we stop comparing Anthony Richardson to Cam Newton? Because if Anthony Richardson come in and don't do a damn thing, because he a project player. So people saying he probably won't even play the first season. Stop the comparison, people. That's number one, just on my wishes as a Panthers fan. I don't like seeing it at all, and it's annoying. But I guess to answer the question, of course, taking our quarterback for the future next 10 years is goal number one. Whether it's Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, I'm good with either or. But for me, I would love for us to get either a rusher next to Brian Burns, because we are switching to a 3-4 defense. I'm not, I'm pretty sure that affects the defense and just a little bit. But if we can find somebody on opposite end of Brian Burns, I think it'll make us that much better. Y'all know me, I really damn near want Will Anderson for our number one pick, because if you plug him into our defense is straight literally for the next 10 years. But I get it. We need a quarterback. Is the most important position. I understand. But damn it, if we can find somebody like even like if it's a poor man's Will Anderson, like the second, third round, I'm happy. And of course, find out another wide receiver. So the thing is, people are expecting us to go out and find a young wide receiver in the draft, whether it's Jalen Hurts or Downs from North Carolina. Cool with me, but we got the third most cap space left in the league right now. I would rather us go and find a true number one. Try to sign somebody, try to trade up. Try to trade somebody for like a DeAndre Hopkins or something like that. I would prefer that, but again, if we go, the younger draft route, I'm cool with that either. But like I said, we got the third most cap space left in the NFL for free agency right now. I would rather us go and make that splash in free agency for a wide receiver than go and draft a younger. But that's just me.
Man, trading for DeAndre Hopkins would be solid.
Yeah,
we got the money for him.
If you go Bryce Young one, you find a way to get DeAndre Hopkins. My God, sheesh.
Yeah, y'all in business. But Mike actually has a question for us. I'm gonna hold the question after I get done, because it actually might be turning my team, because I hope they're not gonna do this. But for the Titans, I would like, if this is only if this happens, the Texans, it might be, I'm pretty sure it's smoke screen, because the Texans need a quarterback. If they really go sit here and not take quarterback number two, for one, they in my division, so I'm just keep laughing at them. Right. They all know these quarterbacks cool. I don't let Bryce. I don't let but in this case, we think CJ Stroud. I don't let CJ Stroud slide to 3 real quick. The Titans are they have inquired about the number 3 pick. Hypothetically, if CJ Stroud falls to number 3, we better not trade up to number 3 for no damn Anthony Richardson and no damn Will Levis. But for CJ Stroud, trade up to number 3. I love that happens. If you don't,
y'all done had y'all share of project quarterbacks already.
That's my point. If you're gonna get a project, you got one right now. Just go ahead and develop him. If you're not gonna upgrade, just wait. Just go ahead and develop him another year, right? And then see what you got next year, Malik. Like something like, but neither here nor there. But if you can get CJ Stroud, you go ahead try and get there. If it can't happen, rather if he don't fall or they someone else beats him out for number 3 pick, or Arizona decides to keep the number 3 pick and CJ Stroud falls to the Colts miraculously. Next thing up, we're number 11 pick. I would like us to trade back. We only have 6 draft picks this draft year. I would like us to trade back later in the first round, gain another pick sometime in the 3rd round or something, and get extra picks and fill out the rest of your roster. We still need a wide receiver. Trading Burks is by himself out there. Get somebody in this draft, because ain't nobody else to get free agent. Well, free agency really want a good wide receiver anyway, but ain't nobody else to get. So you need a wide receiver, lineman, any position on the offensive line, offense tackle, guard, center, whatever positions, swing tackles. They just need linemen. Period. Just get linemen and probably use all your draft picks on linemen, receivers of all I care. But you also need other positions. We only got one tight end, as far as I know. One good tight end. That's Chigga Conquo. We need another tight end somewhere. 4th round, 5th round, we need another tight end somewhere.
Y'all need a whole new team.
Well, offense.
Okay.
Defense.
Y'all defense always say one. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, defense. I would say we probably could use another inside linebacker, because we kind of got a little unproven players there, but we always find a way with. I mean, we have 3rd string linebackers out there making plays last year and still looking like they could be like real players on the field. So I think they're fine. A linebacker, but I think we still just depth purposes probably need a linebacker somewhere later in the draft, and potentially pass rush, edge rusher, maybe a safety if the whole Kevin Byard deal is real, that potentially trade him. But I think, really, in my opinion, I think they're going to ride out this year with Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, and Kevin Byard. Then next year, all 3 of them probably go on the rear. executing the rebuild or retool or whatever they're gonna call it. But hypothetically, that's what I like the Titans to do. And that leads to this question from Mike Patton. Well, if any of you all teams get blue grass board, hey, also if y'all missed the thing for earlier,
Who
he
was
said
that?
yeah, Emery Hunt. He had CBS
Well,
Sports Emery Hunt on his show. And he called bluegrass borders. So, well, if any of our teams get bluegrass boards, keep you in his draft. I just said what I just said. Hey, they better not trade. They better not trade number 3 to get him. If we keep number 11, he happen to fall to number 11. They take him. I still won't like it, but they still my team, so I'm gonna have to try and talk myself into it. But I wouldn't like it.
Bluegrass Bortles is hilarious. Especially a number 1 pissed who might as well re-sign Baker Mayfield again or something. Like, come on, man. I'd rather start Andy Dalton at this point, and we still got Matt Corral. Like, come on, man, don't play with me like that.
I guess Skyler, this question, huh?
No, I that's something that I don't even have to worry about. So, like, that ain't happening
down there. No, y'all got Kenny Pickett.
Right, we got Kenny Pickett. I'm good on him.
Y'all see it. That's a good question, though, man. And Ryan gets more comments. Texting with Jeffrey else to, hey, cool with me. Titans get ready to get that number 3 pick. So I'm ready for Titans getting OT. Yep, I can see that because even though they signed some old tackles, like I said, any offensive line position, they need all of them still. It don't matter who they got, who they signed. So on podcast, they Titans should trade back and get OT. Yep. If they don't trade up, definitely trade back. Titans signed the second leading wide receiver in Texas last year. Yep, I know. He's a journeyman. We need nothing.
Like, what does that even mean?
Oh my God, Tony out there. What JC said, we need more people.
You
need more people. He need more receivers.
Did he get 500 yards last year?
Matter of fact, Chris Moore would have led us. He had 500, I think 544 yards. He actually would lead the Titans in receiving yards last year. Interesting point. So
okay.
Actually, it's a good sign for us. But we need more people that can get more than 500 yards. That's the point. Titans have money rights. Yeah, exactly. I think linebacker they're gonna be side. I think they just need like some more depth pieces. If they always plug and play linebacker. Match ball.
What a name, first of all. And from there, I will transition to a question for you, Sharky. Would you be interested in trading for Trey Lance?
Not no first round pick.
Well, of course not. Yeah.
Better take this good old third. Honestly, I'm split. I would trade like a third or something, but he has injury history, and we just had the quarterback that just had injuries last year, Ryan Tannehill. Yeah, I think I'm good on it, but I wouldn't be mad if we do it because our GM did come from San Francisco, so it would let me know he knows something. That means he has some type of belief in him that he was part. And he was part of like the drafting team for San Francisco. Although he was more later round guy. If we were to make that trade, that means I trust in Rand in that case because he was just in San Francisco. So that means he knows something. He saw something in him.
It's crazy because you just like answer the question I was going to ask. It's like for my football brain, who knows, kind of minimal about football. Is something wrong with Trey Lance? Now I know you kind of just answered the question, but it's like because he was drafted top 3? Yeah, okay, so top 3, and like he's still yet to play, in my opinion, a lick of football. Like what's wrong with him? Because he was drafted 4 years ago,
2 years. Now he's been in the league 2 years, so this is 3rd year. So
his 3rd year coming up, and still yet to play a lick of football. And then like when you get your chance to play, the 49ers don't want you, so they essentially wasted a top 3 pick.
Right, so I think it's been injuries because his first year they wanted him to they started kind of doing what Titans did last year, Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis, Jimmy G, try and bring him up slowly. Then this year was supposed to be the year that he got hurt in the second game. So, and I think he got to start twice his rookie year and twice this year.
Yeah.
He ain't really showed, and like I said, he's still young. He ain't really showed like a lot of promise in that. He showed more than Malik Willis did last year with the Titans, but he still ain't showed enough to like, I'm about to trade my first round picks for him type of thing.
Yeah, I think like I'm one of those like he hasn't played, to your point too. He hasn't played much of football anyways. I think he has.
College starts.
Too. But yeah,
even college.
Crap, forgot about that.
He only played 12. He only got 12 starts.
I'm thinking his first year, you can't really just do or say anything about. I mean, he was behind, a quarterback that essentially had already led them to the Super Bowl anyway, or was about to. So I don't think he had much of a chance of winning that job anyway. And I think they gave him a fair chance to start last year, but he had that freak accident, and not freak accident, but he got injured, so therefore he was done after that. I would still, depending on what the price tag was, depending on the team. If I'm the Titans, if San Francisco says, give me a third rounder and some other picks, I would at least be willing to try it out. I mean, again, he's not going to. I'm pretty sure there's a lot he has to learn, but if you can build out your offensive line, you still got Derrick Henry back there. You got a pretty good defense. You can, all you got to do is just give him, 15, 20 throws. He'll be able to make some of those. I think he'll be able to at least win some games to start off until he gets better.
Yep. Yeah, like I said, I think he still has potential, but it's more so the injury thing. But once again, freak injuries happen all the time. So, but he still needs development. And I think it goes back to, if you're going to bring in another developmental quarterback somewhere, you just need to go ahead. I guess Malik Willis got to be in the trade in that case, because you got a developmental quarterback. So you're going to have to let him go at this point, because obviously y'all not believing him. Y'all don't believe y'all can develop him. I'm praying I can get around on podcast. Give me real. Oh yeah, that'll be a big get right there. But from the football field to basketball court, got NBA playoffs going on right now. Bunch of first round series. I got about 5 questions from 5 different series that were pretty important. The series I left off were the Philadelphia Brooklyn series. They are 3-0. No teams ever come back 3-0 deficit. I know Joe Embiid just got hurt, but I'm pretty sure they should be able to win 1 of 4 games without him. I will hope. We'll see. It's still Doc Rivers. It might get interesting, but we'll see. I have no questions.
It's still Doc Rivers.
Bro, Angela, before you move on, this series is setting up just for us to talk about it, bro. I don't even know what to say. I ain't said a word about this series. I said I'm gonna just let it play out, and I want to say that because there was a 3-0. But when I saw Joel Embiid is hurt, he's out for Game 4, and I said, "And a sprained knee, bro." Yeah, big dog. It's about times is ticking, and it's almost Doc Rivers time. But I'm gonna leave it where it is. He should be able to win 1 out of 4, bro. If he doesn't, oh my god.
And another series I left off. Boston, Atlanta. Atlanta did win last night. They ranked 2-1, but I still really got no true question for it. I still think we'll have a question next week or whenever when Atlanta really showed me that they really can get serious. Win another one.
If
it took Atlanta to shoot like the 16 Warriors for them to win last night. Nah.
I was super myself, so I missed the games, but I just saw they won. And what's the last game I missed? Oh, I did see Denver, Minnesota. That's over. It's over. I have no questions for it. Shout out to play out Jamal Murray. They looking good. Sure, you two try to get the job. I think I saw a commentator out there somewhere, and I should.
Right. Captain Planet right now.
Okay, right. Get on Trevor.
You get Captain Planet right now. LinkedIn profile.
Hey.
Leave my guy alone, man. That's his senior head. Well, you, Trevor.
That's my profile picture on his AARP account.
Oh man.
Oh man, shout out to Trevor, man. Well, first question though, starting the Eastern Conference. Do the Miami Heat? I understand Giannis, and he's still questionable for saying everything. Do the Miami Heat have a legit shot, or it's just inevitable? Even with or without Giannis, then Milwaukee just gonna beat them at 5 or 6.
Milwaukee finna just beat them at 5 or 6, bro. Like it's a wrap, bro. Like shout out to Jimmy for getting you one. And that was it, bro. It is exactly what happened. I was skeptical about Miami's ability to score because they couldn't score, in the play-in tournament. So I said, well, they definitely gonna be able to score against Milwaukee, and sure enough, they can't score. This is over with.
I agree. It's a wrap. Gentlemen sweep.
Yep. Same here. I think they could potentially get one more because they are at home now, but 6 is the max. I think without Giannis. I think Giannis is eventually gonna come back, but even without him, I heard. I don't know what's Street Hardaway. I don't know what's the sheety who's disrespecting Chris Middleton. Yeah. Chris Middleton is back now. Oh boy, he said he had something for Sheedy over there. But next series, are the Cavs in trouble with the Knicks?
Oh, Yes, I think they're in trouble. One, I think for two reasons. Cleveland just cannot shoot the ball. They just can't, and that's my struggle. Because one, they can't shoot the ball, but I think the Knicks defensively are really good as well too. So I think you could potentially see another game like very similar to what happened last night in terms of maybe the Knicks aren't shooting that well, but because their defense is pretty good and Cleveland just they can't get their backcourt both to be going at the same time outside of game two. I don't think it's good for them. Plus, I think the Knicks really rebound the ball well, and because of that, they're going to get more opportunities to score than Cleveland. So I think they're in trouble for sure.
As bad as I hate to say it, because I do like this Cavs team, Jalen Brunson did whatever he wanted to yesterday. and this, I'm not even talking about shooting wise, it's within the paint. Like he did literally 2 back-to-back plays that just had my jaw dropping. Like, yo, can't nobody on this Cavs team guard this dude. Like literally back-to-back, the up fake under, and he did some crazy move that literally the next play after. I'm like, he just having a good time out there. Knicks being at home, the Cavs supposed to be the number 1 defensive team in the league. And the Knicks still they kept the Knicks from scoring 100, but they couldn't even get to 80 points last night. You know what I'm saying? So the Knicks are putting emphasis on Donovan Mitchell. Darius Garland hasn't been playing the way that I feel like he should be playing, especially if he's an all-star. And coming into the series, I said that Jalen Brunson was going to look at this as an opportunity to say, hey, you took my spot. I'm going to need that back, especially next year. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing right now with the Knicks team. I don't think Evan Mobley's ready offensively yet to help carry this Cavaliers team as well. They ended up switching and putting Karis LeVert in the starting lineup last game or just yesterday, and I think he's been coming off the bench damn near all season. So even with that, you going into different lineup changes, it's kind of like a panic for me, in my opinion. It's kind of like panic mode for coaching. So I do think that the Cavs are in trouble for sure. Cavs in this, man. Man, look, bricks. All right, bricks.
Was it you that posted last night?
Yeah, and I said about
ain't nobody have a jumper. Everything bricks.
Bro, I was sitting on my couch, saw that. I said, "Yeah, let me go and go to bed," because y'all out here playing on Twitter.
They were playing with themselves. Pause. Like it was a wrap. It was ugly.
But I guess what Ryan just said, JB Bickerstaff has always been questionable as a head coach. I know he's done well the last couple of years as a Cavs. We should have known Tom Thibodeau versus him was a coaching matchup, and it's proven itself to be true. But I do want to give a big shout out to Jalen Brunson because it makes you remember like last year in the first round when Luka missed those first 3 games. It was Jalen Brunson who got them up 2-1 against who? Donovan Mitchell. Irony. Right? Yeah, both of them East Conference play against each other. And guess who's still up 2-1? Jalen Brunson on Donovan Mitchell. He might just got his number. But also, and going back to 2 point Evan Mobley, the Cavs kind of remind me of the Grizzlies the last 2 years with Jaren Jackson, because Jaren Jackson and Evan Mobley are a lot like Jaren Jackson wasn't ready offensively like he is now. Evan Mobley, it was his first, I think it's his second year, right? So same thing, he's still developing. They really won't get to over the top until he takes that next leap, because eventually he's probably going to be their best player for them to truly win the championship. Because as great as Donovan Mitchell is, I never thought of him as like a championship lead number 1 on the championship team, and that makes sense. And of course, I mean, I would thought he got the first round, but I think it was a 4-5 matchup. We always knew this was kind of a coin flip series, and the Knicks are finding ways, man. That defense, I don't think, were they not that good on defense all season? I thought I remember correctly, the Knicks weren't just super good on defense this season, but Tom Thibodeau, but it's still Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah, I don't think they're probably as good as they probably should have been, but I think I've at least still respected them in that matter to have some type of defense.
They're actually one of the better defensive teams. Actually, I'm on ESPN right now. And defensively, as far as points per game, the Sixers crazy enough was number 1 and the Knicks number 2. So
okay,
yeah. Hold on, that may be off. Hold on, whoa.
I'm pretty sure they still up there somewhere there since you had this stat.
Okay, never mind. I was looking at playoffs, so they were kind of a middle-ish defensive team. Yeah. And RJ Barrett stepped up defensively yesterday, and had damn near 20 points. So I mean, everybody's clowning RJ, but it's like you kind of do need to step up. Come on now, dude. Not reference his best came over. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I've been watching Darius Garland play
he's
all
struggling.
season, dog. He's struggling, and I don't like it. That's one of my favorite players, honestly.
And he reminded me of a little bit Julius Randle's first playoff series 2 years ago, and he struggled. He struggled mightily. I think this is Darius Garland's first playoff run. So it's just one of the things where I don't know. I think you got somebody that's scheming for you, and they find a way to get you out your game in this first series. They're good against way better than last year. Yeah, I mean last year they didn't make playoffs, so I knew they had to be better than last year. Jill's out here looking like he smells something bad. He do though. Hey, I love the comments, man. Y'all keep it coming. All right, next up, we shifting over to the Western Conference. Let's start with our Grizzlies. With the Grizzlies, I'm getting tired of this whole trash talk thing, but I think it's a legit question. With the Grizzlies, with the trash talk, eventually hunt the Grizzlies in this series against the Lakers?
No, I don't think so. I don't think the winner of this series is going to be a byproduct of who was doing more trash talking than the other person. I think this series will come down to actually who's going to be the better player in terms of whether that's going to be Ja Morant if he comes back or AD. If you see what I'm saying, like where Anthony Davis was good or really good was game 1, and the game where he was really bad was game 2. So how many games is he going to be really good AD? I think again we talked about this on starting 5, but that LeBron James and AD pick and roll is tough to watch. And I think Darvin Ham and LeBron James has to understand that the ball needs to really, be centered around AD, and they need to kind of run the offense through him, but then also Austin Reeves as well too. I think, call it what you want to call it, but the offense looks a lot better when LeBron is not just, dribbling the ball for 20 seconds of the shot clock. So I don't think it's a byproduct of who's going to be doing the most trash talk or not. Because Grizzlies going to do it anyway, so.
Definitely. And shout out to everybody, on the Lakers saying, hey, this is a young team. Niggas, y'all young. The hell? Like, what you talking about? Rui Hachimura? I'm older than you. Like, come on, dude.
He younger than Dylan Brooks.
What are you talking about? Me and us and AD the same age, so come on now. But I think what we said is for somebody that do have the Lakers beating the Grizz or the Grizz coming back to Memphis 3-1 or 1-3, I do have the Lakers winning this. I don't want to be right, and I hope I'm wrong because, of course, I want to rock a Grizz Nation. But I did say, like, this is a time where LeBron James is put up and shut up time. And literally all the eyes are on you because Dylan Brooks is kind of making you look bad. I wanted to say not on the court, but when you're talking about him having 10-second interviews and saying, hey, I ain't with the bullshit, I just want to play basketball. The last time I seen LeBron do some shit like that, he ended up losing. So it's like everybody's like, don't poke the bear. Well, first of all, the bear is as old as Grizz himself, so that's number one.
Just don't put honey on the bear. How about that?
Just don't Chris, catch a curtain. Bring your ass here, you winning the pool looking ass dude. What is wrong with you? Ain't no way in hell I'm finna go on national TV, take a picture of another grown man and put some honey on him. No, clock, please, and don't come back to the next.
If you go back and watch the clip, that wasn't even the funniest part. It was the people on the set. It was, it was Malika and the rest of the crew that was like, "Did he just do that?" Like,
I wonder if he's gonna take a bite. That's what in my mind. Winnie the Pooh looking mother. Like, come on. Come on, OG dog, because you already been lacking over the last year saying some shit out the side of your neck. Like we really ain't. But now you on national TV pouring honey on another dude picture, bro. LeBron better come out of pole 40 because if you don't, we looking dead at you, Kendrick Perkins, and we gonna definitely be looking at LeBron.
He needs to be the spokesperson for them from the new honey packs that they be selling now these days.
Look, didn't they drop a Winnie the Pooh movie? Then they're gonna be a part 2. Like, come on, dog. Come on, bro. But in all seriousness, this is the time where LeBron James is supposed to step up. Willie, I'm betting that he does. Like I said, I do have the Grizz losing 1-3 when they come back to Memphis. But the pressure's on LeBron and them. If they don't pull out a dub, especially today in La La Land, hell may break loose.
Especially with Ja Morant hurt. Because even John Moran come back, he's still playing hurt on his shooting hand. Although he shoot with his left too. So I guess one of his shooting hands, right? He's still
But they better not lose to a John Morantless Grizzlies, bro.
At home, exactly. Cause I even said I was on Ina Esco's podcast earlier this week of Verbally Special. Shout out to Ina, and she asked me like who I wanted, how I thought the series was gonna roll. I was like, got John Morant, they can win it. They probably can win game 2. I figured they could do that, but to win the series 4 games without him, let's keep it a buck. You know, but with him, even if he's not fully 100%, they have a shot. But the Lakers, with him being not 100%, because we have to factor in, you're losing 3 of your top 7 players at this point. You miss Steven Adams, Brandon Clark, and John Morant. That's hard to overcome. It's one thing to already be missing 2 of these guys, but then you miss your best player along with those 2. That's 3 of your top 7 players, including your best player on your team. That's a very hard to overcome. So the Lakers really, like you Tuke said, the pressure is on them. The Bruce called LeBron. Let's see what LeBron do, because is he capable of having his masterclass game of his old Miami, Cleveland days, or probably what he should do, and what Scott said, he really should make sure AD gets involved and make sure Anthony Davis is dominant, because they're at their best. Anthony Davis is dominant. If LeBron James tried to be the dominant one, that plays right to the Grizzlies' hand. That's probably what Dylan Brooks is trying to do.
I ain't gonna lie, the narrative of being a quote unquote king, best player in the game, y'all call him that, I didn't. But the king, best player of the game to grumpy old man. I can't wait for this narrative. I'm be here for it. I'm here for it.
Oh, here you go with not your grandson and your grandson, man. But
yeah, right.
Dylan, my guy, man. I like the theatrics. I like he's keeping this stuff intriguing, and he's also keeping the pressure off of Ja, because he did that during the regular season when the stuff Ja was going through. That stuff for Golden State, Dylan started that with Draymond, and it kind of took the attention off of Ja. They hadn't rolled his breaks all year. Oh man, he said honestly, it doesn't matter. LeBron gets 40, not that the Lakers win tonight. That's the question. Yep, exactly.
Like how long was he carrying that bottle of honey? Like, did he have it in his whole pocket, or did he have somebody from production come and bring it to him?
Right, like, did he leave the house with that joint in his pocket? Like, as if it had been in his pocket the whole day.
Which is true, Mike. The pressure on 7 seed, we never heard that, but this 7 seed is the Lakers.
Right.
The Lakers is one. They lost game 2. I swear they fans wilded out. I'm like, bro, and national media, they didn't get Grizzlies credit. It was like Charles Parker said before the game, Grizzlies don't think they're gonna win. It's like I turned to the battle sports so quick. I said, nah, I even listen to this. But it really is almost like that. The Grizzlies have pressure. We ain't act like they got pressure because they trash talking. So they're gonna be laughing stocks.
It was refrigerated.
Let's keep it a buck.
Right. And Mike, when I do say that though, I do mean like outside noise, especially like podcasters, the media and everything. Like even when we played and the whole Shannon Sharp thing happened, like I said, y'all lose to a Ja Morantless Lakers Grizz team. You better not. That's pressure. That's the pressure I'm talking about.
Yeah, with your whole team healthy at that with LeBron. AD.
Right.
Yeah, it's on them. Unless if Ja Morant is there, then it's kind of more split 50-50. Right. Next question. It's about the Clippers. And let me go back. Mike had made a comment earlier. Should we call them the broke down Clippers or something? I'm gonna find it when I get a chance. But
not the broke down Clippers.
Yeah, here you go. Can we call the Clippers the broke down Palace? They stay injured. And that's where my question will go to. Should they end this Kawhi Paul George experiment?
Yes, I'm glad that was your question first, because I thought your question was going to be something else. I think I had seen enough of the Kawhi Leonard and Paul George combination. I think at the end of the day, regardless of how much potential you think that team has, how deep that team is, because it's a really deep team. When everybody's fully healthy, that's actually probably top to bottom one of the better rosters in the league, if you ask me. But when it comes down to it, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are not healthy at the same time in the playoffs. And there's nothing that, waiting to see if that's going to change. And I think that's a problem. That's a you problem, because you're trying to hope something happens that history has showed you is not capable of happening, put it that way. So I think I've seen enough of the Clipper of that duo. So if I'm Ballmer, I'm moving one of them. And if you really being real, I would probably rather move both. That's just me.
Just start over clean. You in the new building. Keep Russell Westbrook because he's from LA and people love him. I'm just saying. I did say that the Russell was going to be in LA longer than LeBron and AD. Just, not on the clip. Thought it was going to be the Lakers team, but it's the Clippers. No, everything you just said, Lito, I definitely agree with. And I'll take it a step further. I think Kawhi just literally answered that question for what Ryan just said. Miss alone management. Like, come on, man. This is playoff time. Granted, I still had the Suns winning in the sweep/gentleman sweep, regardless of if Kawhi would have been there or not. But because Kawhi is not there, he's pretty like you giving up on your team. Like, how injured are you for you to miss not one, but 2 games in your home court? Like, come on, dog. Like when Stephen A said what he said about Kawhi being what he said, the worst superstar or some shit like that. I kind of thought about it. I was like, if he hadn't won rings in the past, I would agree with that, Stephen A. I would. But because he has won and because he has stepped up in times when he was supposed to, outside of this one, I can't necessarily agree with that. So I think, like I said, to answer your question, separate them, get rid of them because it's clearly not working. Kawhi wanted to be there because the Clippers were able to get Paul George. So now it's like, are you going to stay there if the Clippers trade Paul George? And if so, deuces.
Yeah, they just did it. They gonna.
Yeah, you can trade them.
But they gotta find a way because this is over with. I don't want to hear nothing about the Clippers being contenders next. Well, yeah, I don't want to hear it next year. I'm past them hearing all this smoke noise. Laker fans back clowning them again. Hey, rightfully so. The Clippers always gonna be second field to the Lakers, and they tried, and Denver Nuggets ended them. They were up 3-1. Playoff P showed up in the bubble. Denver Nuggets came back for 3-1 series deficit in double-digit games, 4 and 3 straight games, game 5, 6, and 7. They were down by 15 plus points and came back in each one of those games and beat them to the point that PG hit the shot on the side of the backboard, and they haven't recovered since. They haven't been healthy enough since. It's been over with. And as far as he killed Kawhi be more injured, he really do. Yep. And I commend AD for actually coming back because I didn't expect him back in game 1 against the Grizzlies, and he came right back in there. So Kawhi Leonard didn't do the same. And I hope, this could be a more serious injury because 2 years ago when he missed in the Western Conference final. Now, in that series when they came back to beat Utah, Kawhi went down, same thing as knee injury. They were quiet about what the injury was. Then it came out and said he had a partially torn ACL. I don't know if this is the same case this time. And if it is, guess what? He's out for another year. You got to find a way to get the go ahead and this experiment if that's the case. For real.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I want y'all to be real. How much do y'all think Kawhi Leonard cares about playing in the NBA right now? Granted, he's won He's won 3 championships. He's got the accolades. He's done it all. He's in his hometown. You know what I'm saying? And he's playing basketball for a living in his hometown. How much do you think he cares about playing basketball, especially, now?
To me, to answer your question, honestly, don't know because you see or you get a vibe of 2 different Kawhi Leonards, right? When he's on the floor, when he's playing, you see what he did in game 1 and game 2, which is like, top 10 in the league, top 5 in the league, if he consistently does that. But then you have these moments when it's time to show up, and you're like, because you don't want to question if somebody's hurt or not. You want to assume that if an NBA player says he cannot go, especially during the playoffs, your assumption is that he cannot go. But in this situation here, and it seems as if we've read this story before, you're like, to your point, Tuke, how hurt is he? Again, you don't want to put that question out there. You don't want to put that narrative out there. But he's allowed us to go down that road because he doesn't talk or say much. So then it's like, again, on the floor, you're like, nah, like he got years left on him. But then he has these injuries and he has these moments where you're like, I don't even think he want to play. Low-key give you Ben Simmons vibes. Like, so that's where I'm at with it. I don't know. I don't think he's there, but it's really hard to answer that question.
It is really hard to answer because, like I said, we don't know these folks' everyday lives. And Kawhi has the same expression all the time. So you really don't know with him. Like, you can't say, is he happy or unhappy? Because he looks the exact same every single time. Like, I always call him a robot because I really think he really is a robot. I don't know if he has a malfunction right now, and the malfunction is making him, I'm good.
The update ain't came all the way in yet. That's what it is. It's still low.
These new batteries.
System
more,
upgrade needed.
Great.
Yeah, need the updates. But yeah, it's really hard to answer. I'd say this. I really believe maybe mentally with the injury, he's probably exhausted from the injuries. Because even this season, I could tell when he was supposed to play a game, he was a late scratch because he had like a random ankle injury or something. It was like back in November, December. And you could I did kind of feel like at that point, it's just like he's exhausted. He's tired of like consistently having to rehab. And I don't know how serious this injury is, but it could be where it's like, dang, I'm hurt again, bro. Like, I'm tired of this. Like, it might be just mentally getting to him. And he did want to come home to LA and bring a championship home. And it's probably just all kind of wearing in on him. And at this point, I think it's a mix. He still wants to play, but he's kind of exhausted from all the wear and tear that's been going on with his body. Yeah, I guess comments. He said 2 championships, by the way. He said a 7. I know Ryan said a 5. I said, told y'all last year, Leonard's before he did, though. Now he ain't like he did doing his season of shows. Oh, man, y'all coming with it today.
Damn.
That's the fastest baby. You can see he don't care. He's exactly.
Damn.
That's what I was about to say. Do y'all remember? So I know y'all remember, but that
when he
that
stock
time
coupons.
no, I was about to say that time when he was when he was a free agent, he was leaving Toronto, and me and Savage had that source that was like he was going to the Lakers. So
I got sources.
Yes, I got sources. So I ended up reading an article. I can't remember when it came out. It may have been last year, but the article was about that whole thing that happened, and I read that he was going to the Lakers, but he had this long list of demands that even the Lakers was like, yeah, we can't do that for you, bro. Like, we're not even giving LeBron that type of treatment. And so it's, again, one of those to what you just said, to like, how much is he really wanting to play? Plus, I think whether it was Mike Patton or it was Ryan that says, like, he tricking the NBA. Like, I feel like he legit, like, is trying to finesse and try to get whatever he wants out of being an NBA player.
Man, that comes to the real question right here. Who's tricking? Who's the more? I guess I don't know how to rephrase it.
What you're trying to do.
Who's tricking the NBA more? Ben Simmons or Kawhi Leonard? Who's like?
Clearly it's Ben Simmons right now.
Who's the finesser? Who's the biggest finesser?
It's clearly Ben Simmons right now. Bro. He's literally not even playing. Bro, team is in the playoffs right now, and he is not playing. That is wild.
Is he even on the sideline with them?
I do not believe so. That's Ben Simmons by a mile, bro.
Oh man, Zion gives me Ben Simmons vibes, especially with his last comments about not feeling. That was interesting because they did say he was like ready to play, like healthy enough, and mentally he said he wasn't there.
Yeah, and I think what's about to happen too is I think somehow, some way, NBA teams are about to start like getting out of these guaranteed contracts. I think that's about to start happening because they out here getting burned, and nobody wants to pay multiple $1 million a year to somebody that's not even trying to play, regardless of whatever the reasoning may be. But if I'm an NBA team, I'm about to start fighting for that.
Sure, it won't be until the next 7 years. They just
they got 7 years.
They got a whole 7 years for them, buddy. Bring back the amnesty, though. I'm with it. Bring back
the amnesty. The amnesty days. I remember that.
You only had one of them.
I only had one of them.
You make that a yearly thing.
Oh man. All right, man. Last question. Would Sacramento Kings have to win a road game to end Golden State? Remember, they got home court advantage. But I'm basically saying, would they have to win one?
Could two go first?
Yeah, I'll go. Yes, because you don't want to see Steph Curry in a game 7. You don't want to see Klay Thompson in a game 6. I still think those things are real, regardless of the talent. And then Draymond Green is coming back. So you might want to finish the Warriors while you got them down.
I think I'm going to go from the standpoint, I think yes, because there were multiple scenarios in game 1 and game 2 that Golden State could have won those games. I think now, granted, you give Sacramento their credit for pulling that out because that's still a difficult thing to do because you're at home, but that's still the defending champions. But again, there was a scenario in which the Golden State Warriors could have won one of those games, if not both. I think you have to win a road game in order to be able to knock the Golden State off at the end of the day. So yes.
I say yes too. I was about to even take a step first. Said they specifically have to win game 4, but I ain't low key because like you just said something about game 6, Clay. I don't. You probably do low key need to win game 4 because you're not winning game 6. And do you really want a game 7 against Golden State? Home, away, neutral site, England, wherever. Like you don't want to play them no game 7. So
look, they already got bad luck in the arena. Granted, they 2-0 right now, which they should be. But you don't want bad luck to come back in the game 7 to hunt y'all in the ass again.
Right. And last question for Ryan. What y'all thoughts on Draymond Green's A-Town stomp?
He should not have been suspended. That's just my honest opinion. Granted, he stepped on him, but the dude he did not only lock his ankle in, he kind of put a little twist on it. Damn it, I would have stepped on him too. Freaking pissed.
I feel like it's tough for me. I feel like either you suspend both or you suspend neither one of them. I think because of there for every action there's a reaction, and because his ankle was grabbed to the degree that it was, that's why he did the stomp. So I think if you were not going to suspend both, then you shouldn't suspend either one of them.
Yeah, I understand the reasoning because they use past behaviors, and I mean, you saw a whole clip of stuff that Draymond's done in the past. But in my opinion, I thought the ejection was enough. You ejected him. I thought they did it right. He got ejected, and his opponent got a technical. I thought that was right, flagrant 2 technical, because he still initiated and grabbed him. But Draymond Green purposely looked at him, stumped. He could have did something else. He purposely stumped on him and jumped off of him and cooked his heels like Cinderella over on the Wizard of Oz after stumping on him, jumping off of him as well. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was right. The suspension was a bit much, but I kind of knew that it still Golden State even play even better defense even without him, like low key in game 3. Also, they were at home. And Gary Payton missed the game, so it was they played much better defense in the game. Their 2 best defenders, or 2 of their 3 best defenders, including Andrew Wiggins. But yeah, it kind of shocked me he got suspended, but the reasoning kind of made sense too. Because he's like, okay, I can understand you had a pass behavior for saying, hey, but it didn't hurt Golden State. And yeah, I still think he had a choice on stomping on him. It wasn't like when he said, "Oh, I ain't letting him jump over there." You could have did plenty. Jamie Adams. The real deal, Damian Adams, he did a whole tutorial on everything he could have done in that moment because he wasn't like tripping and falling over him. He still has balance.
Look, don't expect a clean reaction from a dirty player on a dirty play. You know what I'm saying? Like if you do something to me, I'm gonna do something worse to you, and we can talk about it after the game. But don't grab my ankle, try to hurt me, bro. Like move.
Right, very much. Yeah, he can pass me on the sympathy to him.
Oh, right.
Right. You can chill there. Yeah, that's the thing on that one. Then, like I said, Mike said he wanted to see Grizzlies Warriors. Oh, that's what we want. Well, I don't think 2 wants that, but yeah, because that's the 2 teams. But hey, we want the rivalry right there. That's the smoke we want. I wouldn't feel right making it for the playoffs unless we beat Golden State. But both of these teams take out the first round. Don't worry about who you playing right now, and Golden State should be worried about what they playing right now too. But man, that does it for the show. Unless anyone has anything else. Cool. Y'all always know, man. LBR is episode 205 in the books. You're gonna follow us on any social media platform, LBR_media. Follow us on YouTube, subscribe, and hit the notification button at Let's Be Real Media, and listen to us in the podcast platform on Let's Be Real Sports. Also, you can find me on Twitter at @DAONE_P Shark.
@_Scalito.
And I'm at Tav Shakir. I was going to say underscore. At Tav Shakir. Appreciate y'all for listening.
Yep. And of course, follow the other 2 members. It's Really She Did. It's Really She Did on Twitter. And Trevor at The Art of Trevor. And also list the other shows. We got the Starting 5 podcast on Grizzly Red Blues and Buster City Media. Talk about the Grizzlies. We have another show next week. As well as 3 the Hardaway, Took, Sheedy, and Savage have the 3 Hardaway show. And y'all know they come out every week. Sunday, y'all still going live this upcoming Sunday, or y'all switch schedule? Yeah, Sunday. Mm-hmm. Catch them live this Sunday. So Appreciate it, Ryan. Said great show. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Mike, follow this show to AFC South. Ryan, the Jump Pass podcast, and Trevor. I don't remember Trevor. He was out today, but shout out him being able to tune in while he's helping tornado recovery. I was in Jackson, Mississippi right now. But
Captain Planet.
Right. Next time, everyone. Peace.